What is up? Welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. And in case you are new here, my name is Sandra. I'm all about creating and crafting and just letting those creative juices flow, all on a beginner level. No matter if you've been doing it for a couple of years or not, that's just how we work here. So welcome. Today we are doing a watermelon wreath. I am super excited to be doing this with you guys. We are definitely going to kind of mix and match it. It's going to be a little bit of dollar store items and Dollar Tree, because that's where I'm getting them from. The Dollar Tree and a couple of ribbons that I got from the Wreath Shop and some really fun, big red sparkly burlap. I'm sorry, mesh. So I know this is Deco mesh, but because of the texture, I don't know if it's just glittery mesh. I have to look. When I'm on the website, like, I know exactly what I'm looking for. And so, but without actually looking at it, I make up my own terminology, just in case you guys are wondering. You're like, what? Let me grab some scissors. So yes, that is what we're going to be working with today. And as you can see, it's already been used. But what's great about this, I'm going to show you how to use, yep, that's right, I got 2 rolls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to use this kind of mesh, where it's like bits and pieces of rolls, to make it look seamless on the wreath frame. And you can use this extra stuff up. I have so many rolls that are just like half rolls, you know, maybe a quarter of a roll. And I know people are always like, you know, I don't want to throw it away. Like, what do I do? Here's what we're going to do. I don't think each roll is going to make it completely around, but that's okay, because I want to make this like full and bodacious. That's right. So we're going to be using a 14-inch wreath ring, and this is the one I got from the Dollar Tree. So see right there. You know what? I didn't even think about it. I got to mute my phone. Not that anybody calls me this late, because I'm usually filming or nights. So I go to bed very early. Because I work so hard, I allow myself to get at least 8 hours of sleep. I do not burn the candle at both ends. So, so yeah, so now it's on silent, so hopefully nobody will bother. But anyways, yeah, so this is what we're gonna be working with. We're just gonna do a simple 14-inch frame. Now, I know you're like, wait a minute, that roll is gonna go on this frame. That's right. We are going to make this big fun. And we have ribbon. We will not be doing a bow today. Oh, you know, I think I'm going to do this green one. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I go back and forth between green and red. I'll do one with each, and then we'll pick the best at the very end. And if we do use a red, I think, tinks, we're going to go with this. Now, I got this at the Dollar Tree when it was Christmas, but I love the sparkly in it, so we may do that. We'll see. And then, of course, if you're like me, and I know a lot of you are because I read the comments, I got this super cute watermelon truck. Oh my God, right? So stinking cute. So this is what inspired me to do this wreath, is that I got this little truck. It's super cute. And so we're going to be attaching this to our wreath frame. And then just to give it a little extra oomph, we are going to be using green tubing, but we're going to go with 2 different color greens. So this is, as you can see, a lighter green, and then this is a darker green. And to make it look fancy in the back, we may or may not use this. So I started using this, and then definitely at times I'm like, yes, it needs to be completely covered up. I don't want everybody to see all this work, because I use sometimes different color, not zip ties, but pipe cleaners. But today we came prepared. So I have red. So we're just gonna kind of like work with this wreath and see how it turns out. And then I may or may not cover the back with the mesh. I think I'm gonna look for something a little bit more firmer. I know I do have some placemats that are perfectly, they're circles and they just fit perfectly on the back of this. So that might be something that I kind of play around with, but we'll see. I'm pretty okay with how things normally go. So anyways, there's not much left to do, but then to point the camera down, let's get started. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this wreath using, someday I will have all of the terminologies correct. It's just going to be like a bow. Remember well, I'm not going to say remember because I know I probably have new people watching this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of take this, measure it out, you know, kind of like the length of our arm, and then tie it down. Because we're just going to go so crazy big on the width of this, I really don't want the frame to show at all. And so I think we're going to put a bunch of these on there. Now, I'm going to leave my pipe cleaners long. So, and the reason why I do that is because later on, we're going to insert, bring it over here, some ribbon into these pipe cleaners. Now, if that was not what I was going to do, and if you're like, what? I don't understand. Don't worry, I'm gonna totally explain it. But if I was not going to do that, like maybe if I was gonna make a bow, I would cut these in half and not make them so long. But we're gonna go ahead and keep them long on when we put them onto our frame. And like I said, it'll all make sense here in just a few, but we're just gonna randomly, you know, I guess because I've been making wreaths for a while now, for a few years. And so I don't want to say that like over the years, I just kind of like saw what works and what doesn't work, but we're just going to start tying these onto our frame. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is on this very first crossbar right here, well, not the very first, because that would be that one. So the second crossbar, we're going to go ahead and tie as, a pipe cleaner on there. Now I'm going to go for the second one below it. Okay. I'm lying. No, I'm not. Changed my mind. I was just thinking because I don't want this to kind of zigzag, not that you'll ever really notice, but it's just something that I have a preference. We're going to take this and we're actually going to wrap it around both. Let me see how I have it around both. We're going to wrap it around both. We're going to do this twice into the center. Yes, that will slide around. So if it starts to move like where you've placed it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's sliding around, it's not going to stay in place. Don't worry. It is going to do that until we actually start building our wreath, and then the mesh will hold itself in place. So you don't have to worry about, you know, it sliding around or looking a little off. Don't worry about that. And then we're going to go back onto the same crossbar right here and then just give it another twist. And you're just going to repeat this process all the way around. You can totally do a third, you know, here, I'll turn, this is better. You can definitely do a third one in the center if you really want it to be like extra full, extra poofy. I have definitely done that before. I just think for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and do the two. When I start, you know, when I start to create the wreath, if it does look a little too airy, meaning I can see the frame, it's just not as poofy, like, you know, bunched together as I want it to be, I might unravel it and then do a third one in here. And that's what's so great about this kind of a wreath. It's great for beginners, is what my personal opinion is, because there's no cutting the mesh. So if you make a mistake, it's not the end all be all. Like you can actually go back and, you know, start your wreath over again. Even with the, there's another method. There's like a weaving method where you just kind of like weave it through these bars. Again, a really, to me, I'm going to say to me because it's my these are my opinions. It was a really easy method for me to learn, and it was like foolproof. Like it was always a full wreath. You never saw the wire or the frame. And to me, I don't know why, but like when I initially started making wreaths, I thought like if you could see the wreath frame, that was like a death sentence for your wreath. It meant that you didn't do it right. And I have slowly learned that that is not the case. So don't worry if that happens to you and you're just like, it's the kiss of death, I can see the frame. No, it's not. Not at all. And if you're that kind of a person, believe me, there are ways that we could add a bunch of like ribbon and all kinds of cute stuff to where you don't even see the frame. If you're like, that's all the mesh that I had, like I still don't know what to do. You can add all kinds of stuff onto your wreath and nobody will ever see the frame. And don't worry, I'm still doing this. I'm gonna teach you guys a little trick. So I have not done it yet, but there have been a lot of times where, I'm trying to see if I have a wreath in here. So there have been a lot of times where I have made a wreath and like the poofs, I'm like, oh God, if it just was like a little bit closer, like you could hide the frame, glue it. Glue that mesh together. I have done that so many times, and maybe it's a thing. Maybe that's what everybody does, and like I just never found a tutorial that told me that that was okay because they just did the wreath perfectly the first time. But like, and I'll explain to you once we start getting, because I know, again, there's a lot of people that have never even made a wreath that are watching, and they're like, what is she talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about, because I have glued several wreaths in this fashion to hide the frame. And that's why I'm just like, there are so many ways to work that. If that is something that you are just like, I can't do it, like it bothers me. So I'll show you my tricks. And like I said, maybe it's a thing, maybe that's what people do and they just don't show you that on camera. But I'm like, I never seen a video, so I'm just telling y'all, it can be done and nobody will notice for the most part. Unless you're like a professional wreath maker, then you're gonna be like, is that glued? But whatever. So anyways, okay. Camera back down. I'm just about done. So here we go. So I've got my last one. Oh, no, I got one more. Now, there are wreath frames that you can buy that already have all of these doodads on there. If we're going to be honest, we're going to be very budget friendly because those wreaths, those frames can be a tad pricey. Although they're fabulous to work with, they can be a bit pricey. So I don't mind creating my own. During the holidays is when when I start to really see these kind of frames with all of the pretty twisties on there. You can definitely order them online at any time, any day, wherever. But I noticed that they actually go on sale. So I have a few of them, but they're all like Christmas colors. So I do have a few of them. If you're ever wondering about that, yes, those are amazing to work with. You can even add on to it. Like if you want to add more like how we have on here, totally do that. I think I might have a white one in there. I'm gonna have to dig in my closet. Yeah, you could totally do that if that's where you want to start because it's just easier. I always thought that was easiest for me to work with, especially when I was new, because I did not know how to do this. So why I did this way I did this, just over time, it's just, this is the method that I like when it comes to this, to the way I'm going to put this mesh on here. I just was like, okay, bar, 2 in the center, bar, 2 in the center. And I've just done it enough times that where I'm like, okay, this is a good recipe, meaning a recipe for my pipe cleaners onto the wreath frame. You can do more, you can do less. There's absolutely no rules that have to be followed. You can do up and down, whatever you want to do. This is just something that I know that works, and that's it. it just works. So, all right, let's get started. Let's put this camera back down, and I'm gonna back it up just a hair. Okay. So, like I said, this is mesh that I probably used on a holiday. Let me just grab a little cutting mat. I probably used this on like a 4th of July or Christmas. So as you can see, it's all jaggedy because that's where I last did a big cut, which is fine. We're just gonna cut that, kind of make it even. Let's get some scissors. We're actually this little rolly thing, my little rolly blade. Again, the Dollar Tree, incredible. I actually need to go onto the dollartree.com and just see what kind of cool stuff that they have on there that I'm not finding in my store, because my store does free shipments, or you can get it shipped to the store for free. All right. Now, for those who are wondering, okay, what size is this roll that I'm working with that's so monstrously huge? I'm going to tell you. Ooh, this is a 21-inch mesh, roll of mesh, okay? This is what the 21 inches look like, and we are putting it on a 14-inch frame. Yes, we are. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this nicely cut edge. This is what I like. I like to fold this like that, you know, fold it in half, have the edges together, and then I grab this chunkier part and then just bring it down. I just like the edge to be towards the back. I'm going to pick a pipe cleaner that is, okay, how can I get this even further down? I'm going to adjust this in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one that's on the crossbar, meaning that it does not move, right there. And we're going to put that right there. And then just give it a couple of twists. Now, I do know that some people like to go back through with a zip tie and just really make it super secured. Excuse me while I do some adjusting, because I would like for you guys to really be able to see this. I'm not going to try to, don't want to drop y'all. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so there we have our first piece right here, okay? Now, because we're going to do so many of them, I'm not going to make these the length of my arm like I would normally. I'm thinking maybe just a few inches, because again, this is a very wide roll of mesh. So we're just gonna, so here's where I'm at. Now I'm just gonna place this into my second pipe cleaner. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Just trying to get the angle, trying to like work with this big old roll, which is gonna be so much fun. What I'm gonna do for the very first one, because it's been a while since I used this big roll of mesh on this kind of a frame, I just wanna see the poofiness. See, and okay. See how wide it goes across the frame? So you're not gonna see any kind of frame right there. I love it. All right, and okay, I just have to do it this way. I am right-handed. This is just the way that it works. So I'm gonna kind of go up a little bit. We're gonna place it into the third, and so on and so forth. We're just gonna repeat this process all the way around. I'm not going to expand each little poof right now. I'm just gonna kind of wait till I get about halfway around, then just kind of go back and do that. Again, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because I have done this. I'm gonna drop this on the floor. I've done this long enough to where I'm like, okay, once I see the first one, I'm like, okay, and it works. I'm like, yep, let's just keep going. All right. And you're just gonna repeat this process all the way around. And like I said, this is a great method because as you can see, we are not doing any cutting. All right. And I do want to let people know, because again, I see a lot of beginners, which is fantastic, joining this channel. Welcome, beginners. I say that I'm still a beginner, even though I've been doing this for years, because I'm always learning something new, which is so cool, especially with the community that's a part of this channel, because you guys keep teaching me all kinds of fun stuff every day. So here we go again. And as you can see, like the mesh starts to hold itself together. I want to make sure that I get the right tie. Okay, there it goes. The mesh starts to hold itself together. Yes, it may or may not start to twist and turn because it is, you know, a big roll. So you know what? And this is what I like to do as well. Because you can get like, you can forget or you just completely miss. I like to go back and just flip it over and just go, okay, did I get that one? Yep, 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 yep. Just to make sure that I'm, you know, I'm on the right path. So that I've got it all covered. And hold on. Okay. But yeah, this mesh will start to twist and turn, which is not going to be such a big deal because we're going to, you know, make it poofy. You're not going to see it. And what I was saying, oh yeah, see now how like it's not even sliding anymore because the mesh is holding itself in place. We don't have to worry about it sliding all around. And don't worry if your little poofs are not exactly the same size. It's okay. Every now and then I'll like find one, like this one random big poof or whatever. It's not, again, the end all be all. Like you can go back through, adjust it. And if it's the poofiest, then that's where the sign goes. Like whatever, it doesn't, just have fun. That's what this is all about. And mesh can be, it can have a mind of its own. So just, we all know that. And nobody that is looking at your mesh. Oh, my cat got a, oh, I am looking down and Nugget's got a pipe cleaner, a red one. They love to play with them. I make little cat toys for them out of pipe cleaners. But, good Lord, where was I at? Anyways, but yeah, Deco Mesh has a mind of its own. So just kind of go with it. People that, oh yeah, people that aren't wreath makers have no idea that maybe one is bigger than the other or smaller than the other. All right, so I intended on showing you guys how to blend another roll on here, but I'm starting to think I might not need the second roll, but I'm still going to explain that to you guys anyways. Okay, it's starting to look cute. Oh, I'm trying to find the other end so I can kind of poof it out so we can see what we're working with right here. Oh my gosh, super cute. And in case anybody's wondering, again, these are for the very new people. Deco Mesh is pretty durable. Even if you get it from the dollar store, it is pretty stinking durable. You can, oh, did I miss one? Oh, okay, I thought I missed one. I was like, oh, see, there it goes. I already missed one. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty durable, so you can, you know, kind of have your way with it when you're going to poof and whatnot. All right, so maybe I will have to, yep, I will have to combine. Perfect, because I really wanted to show you how I was going to do this. Again, for those who have never seen it done before, or who are learning to make wreaths through this channel. All right. Oop, I did that probably a little too long. All right, I think we just got a few more to go. I do, you know, I never thought that I would love wreath making as much as I do, but it is actually super fun. I love the colors. I don't know, I just, the embellishments. I have to say, I am a sucker for the embellishments. That's my favorite part. Okay, so the end piece can be a little tricky. So, all right, so now I'm gonna place this right here. I don't know if I have enough to make one more poof. Let's just see. Okay, let me flip this over, make sure I'm in. All right, I just wanna make sure, double checking my work. Oh, you know, I'm not even gonna chance it. I have this much. Oh, I got that end. There it goes. Okay, so I'm not gonna chance it just because I have just too little to work with to put it in another pipe cleaner, okay? So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is cut this very end, this excess mesh right here. I'm gonna cut it as close to the pipe cleaner as possible, of course, without cutting the pipe cleaner or any of the mesh around it. All right, let's just kind of toss that to the side. So I do, as you can see, still have plenty. I'm just going to cut this one down too, since we're right here. It's got a couple of strings. All right. So as you can see, I have still this whole section to go. All right. I've already put my mesh in this right here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to add, I think I'm going to make this one all nice and clean where the start will be, because this was cut off as well. So just kind of do a quick haircut. And these little doodads that you get from these roller cutters from the Dollar Tree, man, are they sharp. I love them. All right, put this down. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this new end right here, and we're gonna put this in the same pipe cleaner that we ended our last piece in, okay? I'm just gonna kind of, yeah. So we're gonna put this in here. Now, if you want, you can reopen this last one, untwist it, and then lay this one in here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna lay it right on top. I'm gonna lay it right on top and do a good twist, okay? Yes, you can, if you're like, okay, I really don't want it to come loose or anything like that, definitely feel free to add a zip tie right there. Nobody's gonna see the thickness of this right here because we're gonna embellish and cover. So now we're just gonna finish the rest of our wreath up. Right here, we've got about 6 more little pieces, it looks like. And yes, working with this size of mesh is fun, but it's so big and bulky. Sometimes you're like, okay, just stay still. All right. I wish I had something to, and I believe that there are some things that you can like secure your frame down. Even like a Lazy Susan would be awesome to like lay this on, you know, and clamp it down to a Lazy Susan where it still moves around. I wonder if anybody's thought of that. Okay, there it is. Okay, I was looking for that piece. Especially when this wreath starts to get full, it kind of, like the mesh pushes against itself, so it's a little bit trickier to move. But yes, like a Lazy Susan would be awesome with clamps on it, so you can hold your wreath frame down and still like have it secured, maybe like to the table so it doesn't lift up, you know, but you can still work with it. Maybe that's already been invented, but it sounds awesome. All right, got one left and then the final. Okay, we're getting there. And as you can see, there's no cutting involved. It goes relatively fast. Okay. You know, because I'm just going to cut this down because I know that it's going to be at least down to here. Just to give me the ability to work with this mesh. I do not recommend doing what I'm doing. I'm professional. So leave this up to the professionals to cut like that before you place it into your frame. I'm just kidding. I make mistakes all the time. Hopefully not in this video. So, anyways, okay. Yay, yay, yay. Let's just cut the excess material off and be very careful when you're doing this not to cut any of the loops or the poops, whatever we want to call them. Okay, I'm trying to cut. Okay, there we go. Now, time to, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's no seeing frame here, but I'm still going to show you my trick when you do see the frame and you're like, man, and especially if it's like in that one little corner, if there's like one piece of like, of the wreath that's just like not being your friend, and you're just like, please just move this way. It's like having that one part of your bangs, or if you ever have bangs, like just curl a certain way, and you're like, just lay straight. Then you can just hot, well, not your bangs, but you can just hot glue this, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Man, we've got a poofy wreath, which I love. So yes, you can use a 21-inch roll of mesh on a 14-inch frame. Just make sure that you get all your little poofs just kind of unrolled and just looking fabulous. All right, ba-bam. Look at that. I thought I heard somebody else. Look at that. So you cannot tell where we blended two rolls together. Ooh, I see wreath frame. But yes, this looks beautiful. Okay, so here's what I do. Now, if I'm looking at this frame and I'm like, okay, I see a piece of, or I'm sorry, if I'm looking at this wreath and I see a piece of frame and I'm like, okay, it cannot be seen like that. Here's what you can do. You can take like these two poofs and then just glue them right here together, like right there, and then it'll hide the frame. I do that stuff all the time. Not a lot of glue, just a hair, just a little tiny dab, and it works out perfectly. Okay, now there we go. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead. I wanna put my truck on here. In the center. Let's do in the center. That sounds good to me. Oh. What do y'all think? I like that. And it'll look super cute with all the ribbon around. Okay, let me get my hot glue gun and we're gonna start gluing. So my hot glue, my hot glue gun is all heated up. So now we're just gonna go ahead and get lots of glue on here. And I do like to flip it over because, you know, gravity. So press down onto it. And not too hard. You don't want to like smash the wreath. But I don't want all of the hot glue to fall into the grooves of the mesh. All right. And then I'm going to do it oh so carefully like this to this. Now we're really gonna. And the back, as you can see, you can't even really see the zip ties because they perfectly match this mesh, which is super awesome. So I really don't think, I mean, obviously you can still see the wreath frame, but I think I'm just gonna kind of leave it the way it is. I'm loving it. All right, I think we're good. I think I might add a little bit more glue in just a few, but what we're gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna add some ribbon. And I think we're gonna do 5 things of ribbon. I like to do the star, like the top, the sides, you know, like the 5 points of a star, like right there, right there, right there, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I wanna show you guys, I haven't showed off my little boards here in a while. So for those who are new, there are these things that you can buy. They're like some type of a plastic, and it automatically, I mean, it measures out like, this is a 16-inch. It measures out like your ribbon. It makes it really easy to cut, like especially if you're doing a lot of the same ribbon, you can just wrap it around. I like to do things very, very budget friendly, clearly. And I made my own out of cardboard and duct tape. Okay, so if y'all are interested, no, I'm just kidding. So this is a super handy thing. So like I said, we're gonna do 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is like I said, this is a super handy thing to have. Yes, it is great to, you know, spend money and, you know, support certain companies and all of that other jazz. But like, if you're on a budget, like, don't even play. Like, I will figure out a way to do something very budget friendly, because let me be real with you, I've had this since the beginning of wreath making time. So it's lasted this, I don't know, years. I saw that because I'm like, because I would see them on like certain like wreath making YouTube channels. Super awesome. There's a bunch of them out there that are fabulous, just like me. And so anyways, I was like, what are they using? And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to like make a wreath right now. And so I made my own. Totally go with it. All right, so we made 16-inch cuts. We did 5 pieces of ribbon. I'm gonna show you what I just did. I am making little fancy ends on my ribbon. So what I do is I fold it in half like this, okay? Take your scissors, go onto the outer part and cut up. Do not cut down because it's not gonna work like that. Cut up. And then it gives you that cute little, you know, not that one. Gives you that cute little end. So I'm just gonna do this for all of them. Yes, you can layer them up and then do multiples at a time when it comes to the ribbon. But when it comes to like the thicker ribbon, sometimes it just doesn't cut as nice. So sometimes I'm like, well, I'm gonna individually cut them. It's garbage day, so my boyfriend Ricardo is outside dealing with the garbage, which is right outside my office. So if you hear that, then that's what that is. Nobody's trying to break in. All right. We've got this. And some of you may be asking, I was just thinking about it because I'm like, I always try to think of like, what questions did I have when I was making the wreath to why the people were doing what they were doing on TV. I chose 16-inch because I just wanted my ribbon to kind of, I missed one, be not too like just a little So when you put this into your wreath, see how it just barely comes out, just a little bit. That's what I wanted. If you want to do even bigger, go for it. I just wanted to do 16 inches on this one right here. And I'm going to do the same with, look at that. That's so cute. I'm going to do the same with this, and I'm going to cut another 5. So we're just going to wrap. And this really does make, it really does make this a lot easier. And again, if you are able to get those plastic ones, then definitely do. But let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. That's my 5th one. Either way, no matter how you are able to do this, definitely do it. It makes it cutting ribbon so much easier than single cutting it and having to measure every single time. There we go. I kind of pinched it down so I see where that's at. Perfect. Let's get this out of the way. See if I can double up on this fabric and cut my fancy little tails. Now these are different size ribbons, meaning the width is different. I think this is a 2-inch, a 2.5 inch. So this is a relatively wide ribbon. Man, that's a tongue twister. And then I'm gonna, you know, place it with my little ribbon, which is fine. I don't always like using the same size ribbon. In fact, I don't know if that's what a lot of videos do. I've never really paid attention to that. I just like when you start layering the different sizes, I think it looks really cool. It makes each individual ribbon pop, in my opinion. I want to make sure that I always say that because these are strictly my opinions. Even if I read it in the Wreath Bible somewhere, it's still just my opinion. All right. I was going to do red, but I went against it because I didn't want to lay red ribbon against the red wreath. That's another tongue twister. So we're going to go ahead and just do green. This is a fun, like shimmery green to match the shimmery red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5. Perfect. Now you can do as many ribbons as you wanted. I just wanted to keep this one simple. If you saw my tiki video, I was really trying to do it up with ribbon. And I was just like, after I tried and then saw like how it looked, I was just like, no, sometimes less is more. And so I was like, this time around, we're not even gonna go there. We're just gonna keep it simple, but it's still gonna look so freaking adorable. All right. And then this is the ribbon that we're gonna lay into into the 5 pipe cleaners. And then we're gonna go back through and add some of that 2 different colored green tubing. I thought about adding red, but then again, because our wreath is red, I just didn't want it to get lost in that. But most definitely, if you have red and you feel like you want to add it, go for it. Okay, so perfect. Now it's time to add our ribbon. So like I said, we're going to kind of like do it in the star formation. It doesn't matter how you layer it onto what we're doing right now, because you're going to pull it all apart anyways. You'll see what I mean once it's into the pipe cleaner. So take it, fold it in half. I'm just going to do these piles so I don't have to keep moving my wreath, you know, back and forth. We're just going to do this real fast. Hopefully it'll just make this process go by like that. Let's get an assembly line going. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. I'm so excited for this. Okay. Put that to the side. All right. And now is the official time to put it into our, I'm just gonna, all right, just wanted to give it a little tug to see if it was still in there pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the very, very top, like the center top. I'm gonna take my ribbon and then I'm gonna fold it directly in half like that. And then I'm gonna fold the outside back down. So this is what I'm looking at, okay? I'm gonna find the top one and then find the pipe cleaner and put my ribbon into the pipe cleaner, okay? And then just tie it. Just give it a good tie. Make sure it's nice and secure in there. Give it a few twists. Okay, let me just bring it around this way then. So give it a few twists like this. And what we're gonna do, just separate. This is what I meant by separate. We're just gonna separate the ribbon. So it kind of just fans out, okay? And I'm just gonna pull my wreath a little bit closer to me just so I can see. I like to make sure that they're in the opposite, there we go, direction. And then just kind of curl it over like this. And of course, you're gonna have to readjust. You're gonna have to adjust this several times throughout, because while you're moving your wreath around, that's what you're gonna have to do. I'm still gonna leave this here because I don't know if I'm gonna add this into there, but in case don't worry. In case, even if we don't, we can always go back through. We're gonna go back through and cut it off, but right now it's not harming anything being on. So we're just gonna leave it the way it is. And we're gonna repeat the same process. Take your ribbon, fold it in half, then fold the outer edges out, and then find your next position. You know what, I'm gonna put it up here. Okay. There is no particular place where you can put this. You can do this all the way around the wreath if you really want. I'm just doing splashes. And then again, tuck or pull your ribbon apart, you know, not too hard, but definitely give it a nice little tug. Oh, this one goes down there. Then this one and this one. All right. And then I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. And then we'll go back through and readjust once I have it up onto my little wreath stand. One more time. Like I said, we got 5 of these. Yeah, this will go right there. This is gonna be so cute. I know I'm quiet. I was like, oh, I'm lost in my thoughts because I'm just admiring how cute this is. So I think at the end of the tutorial, before it ends, I'm going to explain how I would price this wreath. Okay. So for those who are interested, hang out and to the end, and I will explain how I would price this. Now, I do not have the exact amount, but I will give you the formula for that. Okay, there's that. There we go. All right, one more. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking cute. And then one more. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna add the tubing into the if I had little tiny watermelons, that would be so cute. I don't think I'm gonna add the tubing into where the ribbon's at. Or maybe I will, but it'll just be red. Oh my gosh. Okay. I start like, that's what's so fun about making wreaths and like, well, the fun way that I do it, okay? I never know exactly, like, it's not 100% in stone what this is. Like, I don't have all the materials right here. Like, I'm always like, okay, let's just go with it and see what happens. All right, let me grab a wreath stand, which is this cool little handy dandy wreath stand, like right here. You can get these at Michael's for about I want to say it's like 4 something. So maybe like $6. Okay. This is an item that I never see on sale. All right. Because of that, you can use your coupon. So, ooh, okay. So the ribbon isn't exactly in star formation, but I'm going to, here's what I've got. So like this one, I could readjust it. I'm not gonna. There's one right there. So I could probably bring that one down, but I just like the ribbon the way it is. Now, of course, I've got the camera in my hand, so I can't adjust it too much while I'm holding this, but you can curl this back, or let me curl this back like this. I'm trying to like look at the wreath and trying to show you guys. So, okay, there we go. So you can just fan each ribbon out individually. Super cute. I'm going to lay them all down onto the wreath. You'll see the final product at the very end of the tutorial. But now it's time to add this right here. That's what's going to go right there. Perfect. Now you guys can see it on the stand, although you can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 different colors, just wrap, I'm going to put it in a circle. I haven't cut it yet, so just make a circle with it like that. Have the extra. My hand, my fingers in the right way. So that's how it is right there. And then you're gonna take that center and make a bow, okay? Feel free to make these whatever size you want. So this is what I've got, a bow. We're gonna find a little pipe cleaner somewhere. Where's the, oh, there it is, okay. And we're gonna tuck that down in there and then give it a few twists. Oh, I'm trying not to scoop my little, of course you can't see the first one that I did because I did it too low, right? Hold on. Can y'all see it? Okay, you guys can kind of see it. How cute is that? And we're just gonna repeat this. Let me find, there it is. Again, we're gonna take a piece of this, make a circle, cut this right here. So I've made a circle. Let me just kind of straighten that out. So I've got the two ends, okay, two ends, cross right there. Pinch that down, take the center, bring it down. You got a bow. And we're gonna find another pipe cleaner and we're gonna insert this into that. Alrighty. I'm trying to, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. There you go. See how cute it's looking? All right, let's do this again. We're just gonna repeat the process. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it in every pipe cleaner that I have. Well, the ones that I have access to, obviously not the ones that are underneath the truck. Okay, I'm just trying to keep track of these ends here. Okay, so I got these two ends, crisscross them, and well, this will still show. I might just have to lay this down. I think this will be easier. Gravity, and so it might be just a hair easier, but I'm thinking that looks cute, don't you? I love putting tubing into a wreath. I think it's super cute. Let me just get this on the floor. I've got this tubing everywhere. So, all right. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and add it into every single one besides the one with the ribbon. And right here, this just adds another element of fun to the wreath, don't you think? And then you can adjust it. Oh my God, it's looking so cute. I wonder, like, well, no. I'm like, I hope you guys see how wonderful this one is through the TV. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love this. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to put this down. I don't know if my arm, if I'm able to like see and do this at the same time. Yeah, we gotta bring this down. All right, so you guys get what I'm doing. You guys saw it. This is much easier to do. And yes, if you want to add the red in, most definitely do that. It's crossed my mind countless times while doing this. I'm like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? And I'm thinking that I'm getting every single pipe cleaner. I could be wrong and maybe not getting every single one, but it's looking cute. I've never made a watermelon wreath. So I'm loving this cute little decor. All right. 2, 2, 2. And this is going to be it. This is actually like a super simple, but oh so fabulous wreath. You can definitely, man, if I had some cute little watermelons, I would be just like adding them to all over the place. I love that kind of stuff. I have like little ladybugs and little bumblebees that I did on a wreath. And I was just like, okay, I need to stop because it's just overload, but it was just so stinking cute. All right. And one right here. But yeah, I really love like embellishments like that. And with it being summer and watermelon is like the fruit of the summer, Even though I'm going to say something y'all don't want to hear, I don't like watermelon. I don't eat it, but I definitely love the fragrance. In fact, I just got a watermelon fragrance for my wax melts. It's actually watermelon lemonade. Smells incredible. It smells like the watermelon, like Bubblicious. I don't know if it's Bubblicious or Hubba Bubba, but it's the green and red bubble gum that I used to just love when I was a kid. But that's what it smells like. I cannot wait to make it. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow night's the wax melt night. All right, we are just about done. And then we're also gonna just kind of, while it's, you know, pretty much done, I'm gonna go ahead and fluff the ribbon. Yes, we will be cutting the excess pipe cleaner. I didn't want to do it while I'm doing this because, like I said, you never know what you're going to add to it. You know, I like to do, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. So I don't like to do anything that I'm like, man, now I can't add anything, you know. So, there we go. One more round, I believe. I think we're done. And then we'll do the cutting. Actually, I won't even bore you with that. I'll go ahead and do that. But we're going to fluff the ribbon, get it all cutesy, and then call it a day. Super fun, super easy. I love this ribbon. And I got the ribbon at the Wreath Shop. Oh my gosh. Calm. Ugh, too cute. Okay, now we're really going to like adjust this ribbon. Get it in there. Make it curled. Make it look cute. Now that we're not having to do anything else on that. Like this poor little sad ribbon got all squished. And I guess now, oh, where am I? So everyone has asked me about these scissors. I put the link in every description box so you guys can grab yourself one. These are on Amazon. They are incredible for cutting wire like this. Oh my gosh, they're good for florals. I love these scissors. They're multi-purpose scissors. All right, since we're gonna go ahead and do this, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting while we're doing this. Yeah, just, you know, look at you, make it pretty. So stinking cute. I'm thinking maybe I might hang this up outside. I don't think I want to put this in my shop. And then, oh yes, we are still going to talk about pricing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish this and then I will be right back and we're going to talk pricing. Here she is in all of her glory. Oh my gosh. I totally love the tubing on here. Super cute. And the ribbon, I definitely want to find I want to see if I can find watermelon seeds. I think that would be, oh my gosh. Even if I had like anything like little black, like those black little glittery balls. Okay. Yeah, my mind's going now. It definitely needs that. But other than that, for me, it's perfect. I absolutely love this wreath. Super cute. Very adorable. Love it. And this is a very budget-friendly wreath. However, we're going to talk about pricing right now. So one of the questions that I get asked all the time is, how much would you charge for this wreath? Or how much does this wreath cost? All of those good things. Let me tell you my opinion now. I want to be very clear. Sorry, I'm just somewhat cleaning up while I'm chatting with you. I want to be very clear. These are strictly my opinions. You do not have to charge like this. This is just what I do, and I'll explain why I charge like this, the benefits, the cons, all of that other good stuff. So I'm acting like we're best friends. I'm like, it's okay if I clean while you're here, right? Because we are best friends. So the way that I like to do it, let's just bring this wreath into the frame. This is about as good as it's gonna get. So first things first, when you go to price your wreath, I like to start with all of my materials that I'm using. So obviously we use a dollar store frame. So got that dollar store sign, got that. The mesh, how many, or like, if you're doing it like I am, you're gonna have to remember or go back and see how much that roll is and kind of guess how much of the yardage that you used. Now I know that where you're like, well, you didn't do any of that. No, because I'm not really making this to sell. I just wanted to show you guys a tutorial. But if you guys are actually making this to sell, you're like, this is what I'm doing. Know how much your pricing is. So if a roll of Deco mesh costs you, never go by the sale price. Always go by what it would normally cost you, because that is what your customers will always question. If you have a really cheap wreath and then you have a much more expensive wreath, but basically the same, and you can't say, well, I bought all this stuff on sale, this stuff wasn't on sale. So you want to keep like things consistent. If you got things on sale, great. That's a little bit of extra money in your pocket, but don't, you know, waver. Now, again, that doesn't have to go, that has nothing to do with materials that you're using. But if you are going off the sale price, that's not what you want to do. You want to just say, okay, what would it normally have cost? So if you know that you are making a wreath using XYZ amount of fabric, take the price of that mesh, divide it into the length of the roll, and then figure out how many inches of the roll that you're using, and then take that, because you're gonna end up with a price per, I would break it all the way down to inch. Like, that's what I would do. Do you guys know what I'm saying? But so you're gonna have that. Again, even with the tubing, you want to do the same pricing for that. Even with your ribbon, like you've got 5 16-inch pieces, you know, take this roll, and if it was $10, I'm going to divide the $10 into 10 yards. How many yards of ribbon are on here? I know this is kind of like a quick one because I really do want to do an in-depth one with the actual numbers and chart so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but that's how I would price this out. Once you get that price, that is what it costs. That is your bare minimum cost. That means if it costs you maybe what, $12, $13 to make this wreath, and you sell it for $20, great. You're only making that much money. But did you sell it online? Was there a fee to list it online? Did you go to a farmer's market? Did you, like, you're not going to actually make a profit because you didn't make enough money to cover all of those extra costs. Do you see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you have all of that into account. Also, what I do is the bare minimum price, I double it. I double it. And the reason why I double it is because I want to still like make money to be able to go out and buy more wreath stuff. Whether it was the dollar store frame, yeah. If I'm selling you the wreath frame for $2, well, at least I can go out and buy, I can put money in my pocket and still buy more material. That's how I want to make a profit. And that's how I do make a profit. So that in a nutshell is basically how I would charge for wreath. Always make sure that you're giving yourself an hourly rate. I live in California. Is it $12 an hour? I think it's $12 or $13 an hour in California. I know in some cities in California it's different, but I'm just thinking like, what is it? So if it was $12 an hour, let's just say that. Okay, I'm not gonna give myself a $12 an hour, you know, pay. I'm gonna probably break that, let's just break it into quarters. I'll give myself $4 for every hour that it took me. And no, I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, I'm just gonna take my sweet time. No, I'm gonna do it in normal fashion, but yeah, I might get myself $4. So make sure that you know that your time is worth something, that you are actually giving yourself an hourly pay into the creations that you are doing, because time is money. Your time doing this, you get paid not only to make this, but you also get your time compensated for. So anyways, that's how I would charge for that. I know I kind of like was just like, bleh, and I don't know if it really made sense, but that is coming up. I'm going to have some, like I said, I've been saying it for a while, but yes, that wreath pricing video is going to come up. I'm going to have a couple of wreath tutorials. I'm going to have numbers for you with, like I said, the equations, and so it'll all make sense, but that's how I would price this. But for right now, she's just going to hang in my house and be beautiful. She's probably gonna go on my porch or my I'm thinking backyard or front yard. I'm not quite sure, but it's very summery. So I like it. And who knows, I might spray it down with some watermelon lemonade fragrance oil. But anyways, let's chat. Let's come closer. Come hang out with me. So anyways, if you guys like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. When you subscribe, you're actually helping me out, because that means like the community's growing. That I'm doing something that you all like. So yes, please do that. And then as always, I'm gonna tell you right now, hit that notification bell because I upload videos at the most random time. Someday I will be on a schedule and you're gonna be like, oh, I already know she uploads every Tuesday, you know, and Thursday. But right now I'm just like, let's just ride the wave of this great thing called YouTube. So make sure that you're hitting that notification bell. As always, again, if you have any questions about any of the things that I'm doing, please feel free to ask in the comments below, because I do answer them. I try to not let people wait more than a couple of days, although sometimes it gets a little hectic around here, so it might be a little bit more like 3-4 days. But I will always try to answer every single question, comment, everything, because I so appreciate the interaction with you guys. But yeah, ta-da. So yes, please share it with your friends. And I will see you guys again in my next video. We are going to be doing a Memorial Day wreath, so that is coming up very soon.